Hi, I'm Steve Holland with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Office of Coastal Management, which is located in downtown Sandusky, Ohio. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Lake Erie's water levels and why they've been so high recently. You've probably seen the news reports or maybe even noticed in person that Lake Erie water levels have been extremely high over the past couple years. In March 2020, the water level was nearly 3 feet higher than the long-term average for Lake Erie. These are the highest water levels we have seen in at least a generation, if not longer. High water levels can be seen in many places along the Lake Erie shore. Here's a photo of lake-influenced high water on the Vermilion River in June 2019. High water can also be seen at your favorite beaches along the shore. In April 2020, the small beach at Veterans Memorial Park in Avon Lake was completely submerged. Why are water levels so high right now? Well, there are three major reasons why Lake Erie water levels fluctuate. The current high water is a result of increased precipitation in the upper Great Lakes. Eventually, all that extra water from Lakes Superior, Huron, and Michigan flows into Lake Erie and affects our water levels. Local weather conditions, such as rainstorms and the amount of winter ice on Lake Erie, also impact the water level. And finally, the water level generally fluctuates seasonally. It's the highest in our rainy spring months and lowest in the autumn after our long, dry summers. On top of all these fluctuations, we have a phenomenon on Lake Erie known as a seiche. This is when very strong winds will blow the water from the deep eastern basin of Lake Erie near Buffalo, New York, to the shallow western basin of Lake Erie near Toledo, Ohio, or vice versa. In this scenario, Lake Erie is like a giant bathtub with its water being pushed to one end by the strong winds and then oscillating back and forth. If you recall Halloween 2019, you'll remember a cold night with very strong winds. Those strong winds led to a seiche where the water level near Buffalo was up 6 feet for several hours, while the water level at Toledo was down 6 feet at the same time. So can we control the water levels on Lake Erie? The answer is no, we cannot. You may hear stories about how Lake Erie water level is controlled, but in actuality only Lakes Superior and Ontario have water level controls on them, and those controls have only minimal impacts on the water levels in those lakes. The fact is, there's only so much that can be done with all that water. It all has to go somewhere. In conclusion, Lake Erie water levels will eventually go back down naturally. We just don't know when yet. Thanks for listening to this presentation. If you have questions, please contact the Office of Coastal Management at the contact information on the screen here, and we'll be happy to help you.